Shalom to Kunsang and to all of the prayer warriors, prayer partners throughout Asia, throughout the world. God bless you from the Galilee. My name is Chaim, the Galilean, Sea of Galilee behind me. I'm so excited to be part of the kingdom and part of what God is doing. I'm standing on a mountaintop, a great prayer vantage point. I used to come up here and pray, looking over the city of Tiberias. My house is right down there, and this, of course, is an old church, and it's an old place where Jewish people used to meet and pray through the years. This is a time of prayer intensity. This is a time of praying with knowledge, interceding.
In the last days, God says, I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and your daughters will prophesy. Your young men will see visions, and your old men will dream dreams.
Praise God, 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 oh praise God. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai.
Many of you have heard of the Aliyah Return Center. I thank you for your prayers. We are so encouraged that you are taking this time right now to be interceding for what God is doing, not only throughout the world, but also with a focus on Israel and on the Galilee of the nations. God calls this place the Galilee of the nations in Isaiah chapter 9, verse 1 and 2. And he mentions that he has great plans for the light to shine here and for his presence to be known as he plans to return in the clouds and reign in Israel once again and in the Galilee he loves. So lots has been going on in the world. I want to just give a little brief review of what's been happening here in the Galilee with this registered charity Aliyah Return Center. Aliyah means ascension, but it means the return of the Jewish people to the promised land, fulfilling hundreds and hundreds, 700 Aliyah scriptures. I hope you have at least our starter kit of 64 Aliyah scriptures. Okay, so we said we need to provide a place for them because when they come here, they have nothing. We need to give them even basic things like food, clothing, shelter, Hebrew school, be able to train them and integrate them to be able to get in the job market and have income. You know, teach a person to fish, not only give them a fish, right? So here's the thing though. As I stand in this place of prayer, up on this high place in Israel, I want to tell you that in the past few years, through your help and many others like you, God's been blessing this ministry. We've been able to complete a pre-army training academy, a building for about 30 young people, complete the renovations of also an agricultural school for people to learn and train in agriculture. We've also been able to renovate a lone soldier. That's young people who make Aliyah to Israel. And there's this building where some 25 young people are able to have a place to stay. And that has been, of course, paid for by your kingdom generosity and love for Israel. So what I want to share though is not only that, there's been also this whole project. It was a $5 million project, and it's right down at the bottom shore of the Sea of Galilee. And that also 2 Aliyah buildings. One building you could fit together. You can fit about 70 immigrants in these buildings. Once we concluded that project, we continued to grow and focus a lot of our energy here in Tiberias. So I'm going to point out right here in Tiberias, another lone soldier building with about 9 apartments right down there. Also, there's the free clothes distribution center and goods and clothes. Of course, we have the food distribution to hundreds of families. We mostly give out food vouchers. We used to give big boxes of food, but now we do the vouchers. And of course, right along the water by that big building there is the agricultural school, is the Hebrew school. And the Hebrew school, they even have night classes. And also, of course, there's an integration to get the business integrated. So God has been blessing the work here. Oh, shalom, shalom. Hello and shalom. Peace be unto you. It's an honor and pleasure to show you around some of the things that this ministry is involved with. Places to bless Israel, to help those in need, to have places to stay. Okay, for example, behind me is the Aliyah Family House. Well, it's a house for families that made Aliyah. And we love to just welcome them. Of course, we also have our offices in here. People have come from 56 nations, given us a flag, and said, we stand with you. We know what God's got going in the Galilee, and he who gathers not with me, the voice of the good shepherd gathering, scatters. This is your home when you're here in Israel. It also houses for free new immigrants. This is a new immigrant house, what you've provided through your membership. So we've prepared a place here with clothes, both used and brand new, shoes and etc., everything that a new immigrant will need in their first steps in the Promised Land. In this land, and I just want to say thank you, because right now the government's contacted us, as you know, and they've said, look, hundreds and hundreds, they think about 10,000 total Jewish immigrants and also not Jewish people will be able to come here, and we need to help them, right? And so they said, we don't have the budget to do that here in Tiberias. The mayor has approached us, the Ministry of Aliyah, Ministry of Absorption, and of course the welfare. And they've said, we need your help, believers. We're trying to prepare that maybe Iran will attack us, maybe up in Lebanon, the Hezbollah terror group, maybe some of the Houthis from over there through Syria, through Jordan. We don't know what's going to happen through Egypt. And will a war be ensuing south with Gaza? We don't know. But what we do know is we have to be ready and praying. So what we want to do is to supply every family that comes. I think in the north there should be around 3,000 people. We're still waiting, by the way, unless by the time you see this, they're already here. We know that from Moldova has landed in Israel a plane load of 100 Jewish orphans. As you can see, we've been able to help provide, along with people right here, they've been able to purchase bandages and things. So go ahead and watch this video and you'll be able to see a little bit of the trip we made to the Embassy of Ukraine in Tel Aviv. And then of course that was able to get sent along with about 165 tons of goods to Ukraine. And there was a way that through Romania, they were able to get these bandages, baby food, diapers, through to the people that are bombed out throughout Ukraine. In this time of emergency, we are so happy to be able to help these wonderful people in Ukraine who are in harm's way. And we've come and we've brought both Samuel with Vertical Galilee House of Prayer, Chaim the Galilean with the Aliyah Return Center, in cooperation with all kinds of individuals and organizations, have been able to bring a shipment. Now I know they're very, very much in need of surgical sterile equipment for those injured, even surgical clothing, scalpel blades, under pressure system for treating wounds, non-perishable foods, manual respirators, AMBU bags, nylon and coil, Capron coils, cream for the wounded to dress the wounds, surgical kits, disinfection kits, all acupuncture needles to reduce the pressure on the pleural space, scissors for cutting clothes, defibrillators, stretchers. Now we don't have all that, but we do have sleeping bags. We've got thermal clothing. We've come to bring, and this is because people have given the money they could give, and we need more, and we need more people to join in. But we just want to say we stand with those people who are in harm's way right now, and those who are in bunkers. I wish we had more baby food. They're missing baby food, really, and diapers. So we need to get more of that, and we will get it. But we're so honored to be able to be those who are able to bring some of these things here and to stand in solidarity. So we're going to Ukraine, well, Ukrainian land. embassy of Ukraine right now.
They've
been underground. They don't have babies.
Written in Hebrew, but this is called Materna.
Similac. I love it.
I think it's international.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man.
Hey,
Thank
strength
you.
and honor. Strength and honor.
Thank you.
And what's this? Oh, blankets. Okay. Smichot. Wonderful. Just in here. Thank you so much. It'll get to me. It'll get to me. God bless you guys. Great.
Есть красный маркер.
Great. So we were able to get a lot of the stuff through
Вам
here.
не запакованные коробки есть еще? Давайте выносим на... Это что такое, ребята?
זה גם עכשיו סינר תרמי. סכשנה תרמי וסינר וגם סקלפוס.
Врача медицинская и еще.
So we are ready to prepare, alongside with you, to prepare the way of the Lord. Because doesn't it say in the Bible, I will bring them from the north country? Isn't it interesting to see that the embassy is on Jeremiah Street? And Jeremiah's words are ringing true, the words that he says, I will bring you from the land of the north, right? And that, of course, directly north is Ukraine. It didn't happen until now. Now it's happening on greater measure than it's ever happened before in the history. So I'm so thankful that you are standing with us in this key time in history. And I want to say that praying through the Aliyah scriptures is very, very important, because that's the way we see what God's doing, not just what the enemy's doing. A lot of people are saying, well, the enemy's doing this, the enemy's doing that. What is God doing? What is God saying? And so I want to play a worship song. And this is a song I just wrote. It's called The Tree of Life. And I'm just going to play that right here with my kids. And I'd love for us to be able to listen to this new song that I wrote and remember that we're all grafted into the tree of life. We're all together in this olive tree. We're all together in God's promises. Do you remember me walking in the garden with you? 'Cause I remember you walking in the garden with me. Do you remember me walking in the garden with you? 'Cause I remember time. Won't you come back and spend some time? Won't you come back and spend some time with me? Oh, with me, yeah, with me, oh, with me. Oh, come on, let's get on with life. Come on, let's get on. Come on, let's get on with life. With life. So beautiful. Come to community, oh, come and commune with me, 'cause I miss you. Yeah, all of my sons and daughters calling, all of my sons and daughters, yes I am. Come and commune with me, oh, come to community, 'cause I miss you. Yeah, all of my sons and daughters calling, all of my sons and daughters, roll call. Wasn't that wonderful? Thank you for listening to that. I wanted to say, as we wrap up this time together, our main points of prayer is for all the immigrants that need to learn a job, okay, and to learn Hebrew, and those who are training and in the army serving, and for those who are here with with a real need of food, clothing, and shelter, basic needs, and medical aid and baby food and things like that. So I just wanted to thank you for your support and for your help and for your blessings in this time of heroes arising. Not only we look back and we think of Gideon, right? And how God called him, and Gideon said, but I'm just the least in my family. And he said, you are a mighty warrior, the angel said. You are a mighty man of valor, right? But then he said, but I'm of the smallest, you know, and so he felt like he wasn't worthy. But we know that with God, yes, you are worthy. You are called according to purpose. And now, of course, is the time we'll remember another hero, Esther. She, I'm sure, felt very afraid. She's living in a time where there's life and death on the line here. But it's a time to arise, it's a time to shine, and it's a time to connect Israel and you, and to do mighty works for the Lord. And so I just bless you guys and thank you for taking this time with us here in the Galilee. God bless you guys.